Welcome everybody, this is Spencer. I'm glad you're here with me today. We're going to be working on drawing a Dalmatian, cartoon Dalmatian today. So get your paper, get you some pencils, get you an eraser, and get you a marker like this, and we'll get started. So the first thing we want to do, again, if you were watching last week, we just start with some basic shapes, and so for today we're going to start with his body. And so I want to put a large oval, almost maybe a kidney shape. So I'm going to start right here. This will be the front of him, and I'm just going to sketch this in kind of loosely. Hopefully the camera will pick it up. And like I say, give it a little bit of a kidney shape. So this is represents his back right here. And we'll modify it as we go, but you can see it just kind of looks like a kidney bean, sort of. And that'll give you this mass of his body. And then we want to put a circle up here for his head. So find you the proportion that you think is just about right, both size-wise and height-wise in relationship to the body. Draw you a little circle right there. Let me clean that up a little bit. Okay, so there's our first two steps. We get the body in, we get the head in, and then I want to connect the head, which right now is disjointed, and I want to just draw a line down like that to the body. So what that does, that's just kind of the inside of the neck. And then we're going to do the same thing with his legs right here. And we're going to put them just a little bit behind the front here. You can see where they're at in relationship there. And they're going to come down like this. And just a little ways down. And then this one back here will come back. This is the center of one of the back leg that's closest to you. So right there is our basic shapes for them. Got the body, the head, the neck, and the legs. All right. So there's the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps that you need to do. All right. And now I want to take and develop the head, the legs, and we'll put a tail on them. So let's start with the head here. So I'm going to come off of where the top of his nose is going to be, and I'm just going to extend that line out and then just come down and back and tie that in to about where the bottom of that circle is at there. Something about like that. I'll give you just a second to get kind of caught up if you need to. Hopefully you can see those lines. I can let me take a different pencil and just darken them up a little bit for you. And then here's the circle here. His muzzle, the center neckline, center front leg line, and center back leg line right there. So I think you can probably see that now. And so let's see, what do we want to do next now? We've got to put his nose on here. And let's put an ear on. So just a little bit below the top of the circle there. Just kind of come back like that. You can see that kind of ear shape right there. Just come back and then bring that down. And I'll take and bring that up like that. So you can see he starts to take shape there. All right, now for the work on the legs here. So let's go offset of the center line here, just a little ways over, maybe 1/8 of an inch, something like that. Bring that down. That's the front of that back leg, and that's the back of it there. And I'm just kind of sketching these in loose and quick. You kind of see there that the back side of this leg curves in that way, and the front side curves in this way here. And then maybe that foot's a little bit too far out there. So you use your eraser and take that out if you need to. All right, now for the back leg here, it's configured just a little different. You know, their back legs are quite a bit bulkier than the front leg. So I'm going to go down something like that. And then I can already tell I need to modify his back end here. So I'm going to come right off of that and go like that. That's his knee joint. And then it comes down. And we get that kind of shape there. So always good to have that eraser around. You can make these corrections. And he's a little bit hefty right now. But I'll fix him up. I'll shape him up. All right, so want to get his tail in here. And that, just like a pointer dog, bird dog. Bring it out just like that. Okay, so now we've got the basics for the head in. We got the body, we got the tail, the basics for the legs that are on this side of him. Next thing that we're going to need to do then will be to put his back legs in right here. And these are pretty simple. It's just the same as what you've got here, but just offset a little bit. So there's the front of his leg on the other side of his body. There's his foot, it comes like that. And you can see that they match up. You want to make sure that these are pretty well level all the way back. And again, we can modify that in just a little bit when we use the markers on it. There's his leg there. I'm going to bring those feet down just a little bit. Just like that. Okay, he still looks pretty chunky here. Let me get his neck put in. And the neck is going to just come down like this and tie into the front of his chest. And then for the back, we're going to come about, probably about halfway up his ear, wherever this circle is at. Imagine coming off of that and then just tie it in like so. All right. And I'm going to take and thin this down just a little bit. There we go. That's looking better. I'm just trying to get the proportions right. And that's what this stage of the drawing is all about. Just you can add, you can take away. As long as you got a pencil and eraser, you can keep moving them. His snout looks a little bit long to me, so I'm just going to take and maybe shorten it up again. There. Okay. That's pretty good. I like that. I like what I'm seeing. All right, so I can see I need to put his nose in, his mouth, his eyes in. And so let's just do this for his nose. And then his mouth, again, these guys are always smiling. So we're going to just do that. Got a good smile going there. All right, and then we want to take and put his eye in here. And that eye, the center of it, is going to be right about where his muzzle attaches to his forehead. Right back here is going to be his eye. And then he's going to have, you can see right there, he's just got a white spot in the front of it there. Okay, so that's looking good. I like that. Let's put a couple little marks down here for his toes. Like so. And see if there's anything else we need to do. I think we're getting there. We're going to put spots on here in just a little bit, but we're going to do that just with the marker, so I'm not going to draw them in. So right now what I want to do then is grab my marker and just outline him and just try to make some corrections to it. So as I look at this, if you look over here, you can see that his forehead is flat, it goes up. So let's just make that modification right now, like that. And then we'll do that. There's his nose. And then give him a little bit of a lower jaw there, just like that. And then I want to take and get his ear in there. Okay, now is where I need to be kind of careful just to make some changes here to reshape them just a little bit. But you can see that it comes down, it's just a smooth line goes down and comes out right here, crosses that back leg and stops at this front one. So I'm going to do something just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to put the back of his neck in. Just like that. And you can see he's starting to take pretty good shape. And I'm going to extend this back. And you can see I'm making corrections to it there. And then that goes around his back side. Comes down like that. Just all one motion. From his ear all the way back, along his back, across the tail, down the back of the leg, right there. And now I'm going to come in up here and put the front portion of his back leg in. And I'll put his foot on there. There we go. Oh, just I'll put his tail in here, and I can see that I've changed that. The tail's not quite in the right spot, so I'm going to move that right now. It's not too hard to move it. You can do it. Give him a little beefy tail there. All right, let's do this. Put his chest and his stomach in. Just like that. Let's put this front leg in here while we're at it. His foot, the back side of that leg. Put his toe in. We got half a dog right there. We need the other half now, the back side. So I'm going to do that. And do that with his back leg. I'm going to move it forward here because it's not quite right. There. He's looking pretty good. All right, let's get his eye put in. It doesn't have to be perfect, just something about like that, and then we need his nose. So I think that looks pretty good right there. Now, what I want to do is take my eraser, and I just want to erase all these extra lines that I've got in there that I don't need. All those initial sketches. Kind of clean them up a little bit. This is a kneaded eraser here. I don't know if you've seen one of these before, but they're stretchy. When you hold them in your hand, they get hot and get real gooey, but they pull up the graphite off of the paper, and it just gets embedded in there, and eventually you throw them away, but they last a long time. They do a good job erasing too. They're not real hard on the paper. Okay, so there he is in the rough. So now I want to put his spots in him, make him a Dalmatian. So the Dalmatians, there's no two of them marked the same, they say. So let's just go ahead and, actually I'm going to bring his ear down just a little bit more. And then I'll put a dot right there. His spots, just like that. Put a little spot up here on his muzzle, maybe another little one there. You can put as many as you want on him. You can put them wherever you want them. Whatever looks good to you. I've seen Dalmatians that had thousands and thousands of spots, and some that don't have hardly any. And if I'm not mistaken, when a Dalmatian is born, they don't have any spots on them at all. A little something I think I learned from 101 Dalmatians. That'd be something good to do after you draw this dog, then watch that movie. Kind of looking like a Holstein cow right now. A few spots going down his legs. A couple on the inside of his back leg there. Well, let's put a couple out on his tail. A few more down this leg right there. Okay, he looks pretty good. Last thing I want to do, see, this doesn't take very long when you get going. Last thing I want to do is do the shading here. So let's shade the front of his chest. And I'm just doing this real quick, kind of knock it out for you. I just want you to see how much that adds to the picture. You can see it kind of gets that barrel shape there. This back leg is in shadow, so it's going to get shaded in. And probably this portion of that foot there. That's his ear would probably be cast in a shadow here, so we're going to shade that in. See, so this is using pencil and marker. This is a mixed media piece. Okay, and his belly here. Just kind of shading that. If you want to get it a little darker in places, go ahead and do that. I think his tail too, I want to kind of shade that. And then this leg back in here will be shaded quite a bit. Let me grab a different pencil, see if it marks any better. When you want to shade it, a duller pointed pencil will work much better. Oh, I made a boo-boo right there, I see it. So I'm going to color that in and then grab a marker and do that right there. See, we all make mistakes, so if you make a mistake on your picture, don't worry about it. When you find a mistake, if you can fix it, fix it. If you can't fix it, learn from it. Okay, so that's about all the shading on him, but I want to do one last thing. You put the shadow underneath him and that will anchor him down to whatever he's standing on. So I'm just going to grab this pencil and go across here real quick. Make it, I don't know, 1/2 inch wide. Of course, I'm drawing, this guy's almost as tall as my hand is wide, so that'll give you an idea of what proportion it should be. Okay, so looking good. Let's sign him. Let's title him Dalmatian and sign your name to it. Be proud of what you do. There he is. All done. I think he turned out pretty good. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you'll give it a try. If you end up doing this, go ahead and post it on Facebook somewhere. I'd love to see it, okay? Thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll get to talk with you next week. Bye-bye.